Alright, excuse me. Alright, anyways, what's up, guys? Welcome. I don't know why I'm starting the video off like it's one of my other channels, but anyways, no, PL Lana or Pilana, regardless, it's this user has uploaded a video titled 15 minutes of perfect WWE selling. Yeah, man, that's one thing that I can say that I enjoy about wrestling, like, as I get older, because I feel like back then I didn't really appreciate it, but I feel like now when I see a wrestler, when they just oversell a move, and it's like, it's like, let's say a wrestler's finisher is a power bomb, and they get slammed on the mat, they'll go get the flopping around and things. I don't know why, but it's like, I love that. It just lets me know that they're okay, you know. So yeah, it's just something where I'm like, yeah, I can appreciate this from wrestling. But nah, man, let's go ahead, get into this video. Make sure if you guys haven't, go subscribe to this user. I think it's either Pilana or PL Lana. Regardless, make sure you go subscribe to them anyways. You gotta be kidding me! Yeah, that's gonna probably be one of the best. That's gonna be one of the best. They still show that highlight till this day.
One of the most important aspects of professional wrestling. It's the art of a wrestler reacting convincingly to being hit with a move, making the action look authentic and impactful. The ability to sell is crucial because it sustains the illusion of kayfabe, which is essential for keeping the audience emotionally invested in the act.
That could be, man.
Wrestlers must skillfully convey
I like that. I like that one too. That was a good. That was like right at the start of the whole pandemic and things. So yeah, it was like we needed all the moments we could get during that time.
Audience believe in the reality of the match. Throughout the history of professional wrestling, the skill of selling has varied widely among performers. We've seen some wrestlers who struggle with selling, making their matches look unconvincing and breaking the audience's immersion.
You can kiss my ass.
Yeah, Vince. But the thing is this: people criticize Vince's like sell to the stunner and things, but you gotta remember this. I'm not trying to say it in a disrespectful way, but it's like he's an old man. It ain't like he's getting stunners all the time. Maybe they should have practiced beforehand. I don't know if they did or not. But I've had to say, like, that stunner, I felt like it was a pretty good, or a sell to the stunner. I felt like it was a pretty good sell. That last one, though, yeah, that one at WrestleMania, it was a little bit questionable. But it's like, you gotta remember, he's like a 70-something-year-old man. He can't just be reacting to stunners. And I know people are probably all like, oh, there's other 70-year-old wrestlers, they react good to moves and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, but that's like, they're a full-time wrestler. Vince, it's like, besides that WrestleMania match, when was the last time before that he had a match? And I think that was like years ago when I was in school and stuff. So, but anyways.
On the other hand, there are those who go to the opposite extreme, which is overselling. And overselling occurs when a wrestler exaggerates the effects of a move to the point where it's absurd.
But it's good though. It's good entertainment. Like, that was funny.
While this can sometimes be entertaining, it can also detract from the seriousness of the match if it's overdone. However, there is a special category of wrestlers who have truly mastered the art of selling. These performers have studied and perfected their reactions to make every move look devastatingly real.
I hate like their rivalry so much. Buddy Matthews now, but when he was part of WWE is Buddy Murphy. And he goes by Malachi in AEW, but Aleister Black. But I honestly thought like that's what the situation was gonna be when they had both signed to AEW, and I'm like, man, because their matches were so good. So I don't know, maybe they're just kind of teasing it, build it up, them as a tag team faction, and then eventually, one's gonna turn on the other. But yeah, it's like that's a rivalry where I was like, I remember I was glued to the TV when I seen their matches because they always put on such good matches, and I didn't really watch NXT at that time being because I think that was when it was like on the WWE network and stuff. So they already was like long gone from NXT. But yeah, it's something where I'm like, yeah, it'll be one of those rivalries where it's like it's it's a little like that, not above the radar, but it's one of those things where I'm like, yeah, definitely if they have a rivalry, pay attention to it, people, because they're gonna put on a match.
Cell effectively enhances the drama and storytelling of the match, drawing the audience into the narrative and making each contest memorable. The best sellers in WWE history are those who can strike the perfect balance, making the action believable without crossing into the realm of parody. Their performances elevate not only their own status, but also the prestige of their opponents, contributing to the overall success of the show. And in today's video, we're going to focus on these exceptional talents, starting with Rob Van Dam.
I remember that. Dang. Like, Rob,
just like EC.
It's one of those things. If I was a wrestler and I seen them oversell the move, like if I didn't really know overselling, I've been looking at the ref like, hey, do I pin him? Like, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm scared. Like, is he all right? Like, squeeze his hand, see if he's all right. Because I'm like, I'm scared now. That looked a little bit too real. I'm like, it's been one of those things where I'm like, nah. After the match and we went back there, I'm like, bro, is you good? Like, I just gotta ask real quick.
RVD selling was extreme. The way he would sell made every move look impactful, and one of his
Rob
specialties
Van Dam,
was
he's
actually
a legend.
spiking a DDT or pile driver, making it look like
and he just signed a Legends deal with WWE
RVD selling
too.
was unique, and it also influenced a ton of wrestlers nowadays.
Dang. That was a good one at Choke Slam.
While Brock Lesnar is often seen as an unstoppable force in the ring, he's also surprisingly one of the best sellers in professional
that's facts.
wrestling. The Beast was a much more athletic seller during his youth, but he did change the way he sells nowadays in order to focus more on facial expressions and the little details. Lesnar's ability to sell his opponent's moves adds a crucial layer of believability to his matches. His selling skills are particularly notable because they contrast with his typically invincible image, allowing for compelling storytelling where even the Beast can be brought to his knees. Whether it's a subtle grimace of pain or a dramatic fall, Lesnar's reactions are believable and well-timed, giving his opponents credibility and enhancing the overall story being told. His knack for selling transforms his matches into compelling spectacles, ensuring that each bout feels significant and intense. Just look at the way that he sells this GTS that was botched, or this KO punch by the Big Show, making it look like he's completely out of it. Or look at him legitimately just throw himself at John Cena without a care in the world.
That was kind of scary though, going over that.
One of his best bits is actually throwing himself out of the ring whenever he takes a move like the super kick or a chair shot to the face. We've seen a lot of people attempt to make this move look good, but nobody does it as well as Brock Lesnar. He's clearly not afraid to throw his body around in order to make his opponents look good, and that's what makes Brock one of the best to do this in the history of the business.
And that's one thing that I'd say about Brock. Like, even like at his older, age and stuff with like just with wrestling, because he ain't gonna be doing the stuff that he was doing when he was younger. Like that, what was that? Like that backflip that where it was, because I think it was at like WrestleMania, what was it, 19? Or it was I think it was the 2003 WrestleMania. I can't remember the number, but anyways. But no, it was I just remember I think it was 19. But regardless, no, I just remember when he did that backflip and he landed it and stuff, and he ended up getting a concussion. He ain't doing no crazy stuff like that, but still though, it's like, you see how much of a talented wrestler he is, despite the controversy that he got caught up in. Like, no, I could say that about Brock Lesnar, that he, out of all the wrestlers I have to say I've seen more so in their older days of being a wrestler, Brock, I feel like he killed it. Like, that's one thing where I could say about him and give that man his flowers when it comes to wrestling and stuff. Like, he 100% killed it. That was there's just something where I'm like, it's like, dang, bruh.
You can't make a video of the best sellers in wrestling without including Mankind, aka Mick Foley.
Whoa.
He's a perfect seller, mainly because he actually took some of the most dangerous and legitimate bumps that he probably should have not taken. For example, just look at these bumps.
I've never seen that one where his neck got caught up in the ropes. That as a wrestler, if I'm his opponent, that would scare the life out of me.
Literally falling directly onto concrete. You could have honestly thrown this man into the steps. You could toss toss him off the Hell in a Cell, or you could Irish whip him into the barricade. It did not matter. He was going to do everything in his power to make it look real, and because of this, he managed to make a name for himself, becoming a legend in this
I feel like
sport.
Mick Foley, he's one of those guys where it's like he could have been a stuntman in his like past life or just before wrestling. And yeah, then he just mastered you know, wrestling, and then yeah, you still using that stuntman ability and stuff. But yeah, because stuntmen, I believe they be doing some well, yeah, they of course be doing some crazy stunts. That's why they got their job. But yeah, Mick Foley, he's definitely, and that's probably something that I don't know about Mick Foley, where he might have been a stuntman prior before becoming a wrestler, and then yeah, he just decided to do wrestling, and he used that stuntman ability in wrestling and stuff. Because if I had to rely on somebody in a match where it came to like, okay, I know I want to have a crazy match, but who would I want to have a crazy match with? Mick Foley, I feel like, would be that guy.
Just got a plan, but what is it? Yes, sir. What's the fake? No.
Dang.
Similar to Mick Foley, Jeff Hardy earns a spot in this video for his daredevil-like maneuvers, where he had no choice but to sell. He's gone through too many tables and ladders to not make it to this video. Jeff Hardy is truly one of the best sellers we've seen in the WWE, and if you witness him during his prime, then you should consider yourself lucky.
Yeah, I just remember getting into wrestling when it was, I think he was either out on entry or he was gone from WWE, but I had more so came in during that time. Remember when it was him and his brother, they kind of had like a rival? Well, no, it was actually before that, because I got in wrestling in 2007, so I can't remember whether or not he was. Yeah, he was, because it was that next year he did that stunt with with Randy Orton when he jumped off of the entrance, and that was like, yeah, he that swanton bomb off the entrance, or like that side part of the entrance. I was like, yeah, that's when I was like, nah, Jeff Hardy, that man's insane. But I just remember watching, because they had like a ladder match DVD that came out back then, and that's how I discovered Jeff Hardy, and I was like, this guy's my favorite wrestler now. Anytime he's on TV, I have to watch it.
Randy Orton has been a great seller ever since he arrived to the WWE.
Even with his this last match with Javon Evans, I thought he did pretty good.
In 2002. When watching clips from his early career, you might notice that he occasionally oversold his opponent's move just a little bit. While his reactions were never outlandishly exaggerated, they were sometimes a little bit dramatic. However, as Orton matured in the ring, he refined his technique, adopting a more measured and realistic approach to selling. This evolution enhanced the believability of his performances, making every strike and slam look more legit. As Randy grew older and gained more experience, his selling technique became more polished and nuanced. He learned to slow down.
He's like, anybody gonna sell an RKO, right? It's gonna be the man that, well, he didn't create the RKO, but still, he's like the man behind the RKO. Yeah, he gonna sell it better than anybody.
On his reactions, which added a layer of authenticity to his matches. Whether he's taking a big boot or a knockout punch, Orton's ability to convey pain and impact with just the right amount of drama has become one of his trademarks. His selling now perfectly balances realism with the dramatic flair necessary to keep the audience engaged and invested in the match. This has made Randy one of the most reliable and effective sellers in professional wrestling. His evolution from somewhat dramatic selling to a master realistic reactions highlights his dedication to the craft and his understanding of the importance of selling in wrestling. He's lucky to have learned how to sell from some of the best in the game, like the game himself, Triple H, as well as the Nature Boy Ric Flair.
Yeah, Randy Orton, he's one of those guys where it's like he, and I know because they didn't show that, but I know people was all like, they probably would mention that time when him and Brock Lesnar kind of had a rivalry, and Brock was elbowing him, and they were in on it. But I say that was a good sell too. Like if they were both in on it, Randy is okay, you know, and all that stuff. But it got to the point where I think Jericho, Chris Jericho was all like, he wanted to fight Brock Lesnar after that whole situation. For those that did not know, but no, yeah, if you guys actually go and find that clip, yeah, Brock Lesnar, he managed to get Orton down, and he just started like giving him like, it was some like actual legitimate legitimate elbows to the top of his head. And I think he was just more so just trying to like cut his head open, but still, it's like, you know, you taking an elbow to the head, like the elbow, that's tough, man. So it's like, even if you are trying to like do it to cut him and you ain't giving him like direct hits, however it goes, still though, I imagine it's gonna hurt to an extent. But anyways, Ricochet, he always gonna be one of the best sellers in my opinion.
Ricochet's wrestling career began on the independent scene, where he needed to stand out in a sea of thousands of professional wrestlers. His extraordinary athleticism set him apart, and he decided it was a good idea to become a high flyer, drawing inspirations from legends and Hall of Famers like Rey Mysterio and Jeff Hardy. To further distinguish himself, Ricochet mastered the art of selling moves and making everything look devastating. When he wasn't no-selling with Will Ospreay, his selling was exceptional, making every move look impactful and real. This talent caught WWE's attention, leading to him getting
It's like,
signed.
why did they let him go? That's just something that I don't get about. In my opinion, I would say right now, Ricochet is one of the best wrestlers of all time. That could just be me gassing him up, but I that's something that I will say that to anybody, and I am willing to argue with that. Like, I am dying on this hill that Ricochet, he is one of the best wrestlers of all time. I know people criticize him on his like microphone skills, and yeah, I mean, you know, if they want to have it where he, you know, works on that, then he very well can. But the thing is this though. I would not, if I have like a wrestling organization and Ricochet is on there, fam, look, even if it is on some stuff where it's like I don't feel like it would be the right time to give him a championship run, but I feel like that's just something though. I feel like I've seen it a few times, like when he was with WWE, was like he needs a singles competition run, whether it's the Intercontinental Championship, the United States Championship, and I think then they have it where he was like the first speed champion or something like that. I'm like, regardless though, I'm like, WWE, I just feel like, you know, I don't know. I'm not a businessman, but I feel like that was a bad business move. Like, I'm not going to get rid of Ricochet, and he, in my opinion, is one of the most talented wrestlers. I'm like, fam, the thing is this, with the, just overall, like, with just the popularity that WWE has, you guys have a popular YouTube channel, you guys got a popular TikTok. I'm saying there's, like, so many different things that you guys can do, like, to just overall, I don't want to say it in a bad way, but like, yeah, use Ricochet, and I'm like, not use him like in a bad way, but use him to like elevate his career and stuff. I mean, his career is pretty elevated in WWE, but still, I feel like it could have went further than what they overall did. I think if I was like a writer or somebody behind WWE, whether it's making Ricochet turn heel, and I think that probably would have been a good move. Maybe if he would have just had a moment where he turned heel, or he just signed up with a faction that was heel, I think that it could have been good. But anyways,
with the company. With WWE's resources, Ricochet polished his skills and became even better in that ring when it came to selling for his opponents. He quickly emerged as one of the best sellers in recent years, if not the best, consistently making his opponents look formidable.
Yeah.
Despite his incredible selling ability and all the potential in the world, Ricochet struggled to become the star that many believed that he would become,
crazy,
like someone like Triple H, who thought that he was world championship material. However, his memorable spots and his dedication to making wrestling look authentic and brutal left a lasting impression that we won't ever forget. Watching these clips on the screen right now, it's very clear just how much effort that he put into his craft until he perfected it. Ricochet's commitment to elevating the art of wrestling through his exceptional selling remains highly appreciated by all fans.
I think that would have been a good move though, where if he was the one that beat Braun Breaker, and then Ricochet and Jey Uso would have had a match. I feel like that would have been, or even if they would have decided to do like a triple threat where it showcases all three of those guys. I'm saying, if I was a writer with wrestling, Ricochet would have been champion a few times. Like, I'm like, nah, before this man leaves, he's guaranteed at least one championship belt, and there ain't gonna be no speed championship belt where it's like it ain't even being showcased on TV. No, I want this man to have, like, my thing is this: if I was like a writer or somebody, and they was like, oh, you gotta work with Ricochet, I'm like, hey, I guarantee and I promise you, any moment you want, whether it's the like the highest tier NXT like pay-per-view, because I didn't really watch his NXT run. Again, I wasn't watching NXT at that time, but yeah, it's like you guaranteed to get the NXT championship, have like your moment, like a big moment in NXT, and I guarantee and I promise you, you name out the belt that you want, and I'm like, and I'll write some stuff up to where you get that belt and you have a WrestleMania moment, whether it's you winning or losing at WrestleMania. But yeah, I'll think of some stuff, but you definitely gonna have your moments, bro.
And I hope he does well wherever he ends up after leaving the WWE. Have you seen a better sell of a spear like this?
Icky shuffles.
Dolph Ziggler. Oh yeah, Dolph Ziggler, and I had to say when it came down to like paying attention to, because I had to say Dolph Ziggler was the one that got me into like wrestlers like overselling a move and stuff. So yeah, Dolph, I had to give him credit. Like if it wasn't for him, I don't think I would still to this day know what selling is. And I feel like, yeah, with Dolph, it was like, you know, you just get to watch it, but it's like, dang, it like I didn't seen at least like 15 different wrestlers have that same move happen to him. Why does he look so like that man? No, he's hurt. That man is hurt. But no, yeah, shout out to Dolph Ziggler.
That was just an all-out nasty right hand from Dawkins.
Objectively, Dolph Ziggler is a guaranteed top 5 seller of all time, if not number 1. There's no question about that. However, subjectively, he's my favorite seller ever.
Yeah.
In fact, his selling alone makes him one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. Not to be dramatic or anything, but his selling holds a special place in my heart. Dolph Ziggler's selling helped me fall in love with professional wrestling.
And he's another wrestler where it's like, I feel like he had a good run at one point in time, but I just feel like it wasn't. And I feel like the only reason why it would be memorable, because it's like that was the only run that he had really, you know, after the like when he, because was it the World Heavyweight Championship or the WWE Championship? Regardless, I remember he had that run. And then, yeah, it just seemed like that was it. Like, that was the only run that he had, unless I'm missing a run that he had. But, yeah, it was like, that was like some years ago, you know? But anyways, yeah, I think that Dolph Ziggler is another wrestler where they could have overall did more with him, you know? Like, whether, and I think they did try to, like, have it where he went to NXT. And I'm like, you guys get it. I feel like he would have had a good run in NXT. I feel like if they wanted to, like, write that in there where it's like, hey, you know, you're losing your touch. Like, you're not that same wrestler that we signed years ago, and then Dolph Ziggler just goes on this like heel run in NXT and he just starts taking everybody out, then I feel like that could have been, you know, a way for him to make his way back into the big leagues. And I don't know, you see it at times though where it's like, I don't know, it's like, I don't want to call it a curse, but I just feel like that you see some NXT wrestlers where it's like, yeah, if there's somebody like Gunther, where it's like, yeah, you know, you can see him having a World Heavyweight Championship run, but I just don't feel like it has that same effect as like a World Heavyweight Championship run from like 2007 when we're talking guys like Batista or Undertaker, or, you know, a WWE Championship run like John Cena or Edge, you know, like talking like kind of like that 2006, 2007 era. But that's, I feel like, the effect that it has to have. Like that, you know, it has to have that. But it just seems like now it's kind of like, oh, okay, you know, they got the championship and then that's it. I feel like Roman Reigns, he was good when he had his championship run. But Cody, I feel like he's doing good too. I feel like Cody was one of those guys where it's like, you know, yeah, he has to have his championship. I'm like going like, that's just, it's one of those things. It's like, you get me talking about wrestling, I'm gonna go overboard with it. But let's get back to the video.
There was a time in 2010 when I was growing tired of the product. Things weren't looking so bright. The Nexus were being buried by John Cena, and we also had tea parties, including Santino Marella and Vladimir Kozlov. It was a goofy time. However, Dolph Ziggler's selling reignited my excitement.
PG era.
I vividly remember watching compilations of his best-selling moments on YouTube, even if it had to be in 240p. A few of my friends even got back into wrestling because of Dolph Ziggler too. Watching wrestling with my friends became fun again, all thanks to Dolph Ziggler and his sells. For that, I will always consider him one of the best to ever do it when it came to selling moves and whatnot. When you can make such a significant impact, you're undoubtedly one of the all-time greats. Dolph Ziggler noticed that Shawn Michaels earned a spot at the top of the card because of his fantastic selling, and Ziggler also recognized that Michaels sometimes would oversell moves a little bit too much, so Ziggler perfected the balance of overselling as well as realism, creating a blend that would cement his legacy as one of the best in-ring performers of all time. His ability to make every move look devastating while maintaining believability is a testament to his skill and his dedication. Ziggler's selling not only elevated his own matches, but it also made his opponents look stronger, enhancing the overall quality of every
I feel
bout
like that's all that his NXT run is going to be remembered as, is that he put over other wrestlers and then that's it. But it's like, nah, man, he should have been the one getting put over.
Involved in. What sets Ziggler apart is his understanding of wrestling psychology, and selling is not just about reacting to moves, it's about telling a story in the ring. This depth makes his matches more compelling and emotionally engaging for the audience. Also, we gotta talk about Dolph Ziggler's consistency as a seller as well, which is remarkable. Whether he's in a high-profile championship match or a regular weekly bout, he gives his all, making sure that every move, every hit, and every fall looks as real as possible. This commitment has earned him respect from peers and fans all around the world. His peers have often praised him for his professionalism and his ability to make them look good in the ring. Fans appreciate the authenticity he brings to his matches, which keeps them invested in the outcomes. Overall, Dolph Ziggler's selling ability is not just a skill, but it's a passion that has had a profound impact on professional wrestling. For many fans, including myself, his work has rekindled a love for wrestling and set a standard for what it means to be a great seller in this sport. Ziggler's legacy is one of excellence, inspiration, and a lasting influence on the art of professional wrestling.
It's just unfortunate, man. I mean, because I don't watch TNA Impact, but I have heard that he has been killing it over in TNA, so I'm like, that's good. If WWE, if they actually wanted to do that, where it's like a TNA, like for Survivor Series, and I don't know why they won't consider something like that, but it's like, fam, imagine where it's like WWE versus TNA, and then it's like some former guys from WWE that's in TNA right now. Then they even just get some legends to kind of, come back at things, and then they picking and choosing sides. Bro, I'm telling you, that would be a memorable Survivor Series. You would think that they would do some stuff like that, but anyways. I feel like that would be a time for Dolph Ziggler to shine, but anyways.
And objectively, last but not least, we have the best seller of all time, which I and everybody else pretty much believes, which is the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. It is Bret
before my
the
time.
Hitman Hart.
I ain't gonna say that he's not. There's other wrestlers, but yeah, I didn't watch Bret Hart because I was like, I'm trying to think. Whenever he got into wrestling, I was like, well, I had to have either not been born or I was like, what, a few months old, a year old, or something like that. So yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, first time I remember, I think I seen Bret was like live, like on TV and stuff, was when he came back that like years ago, and then him and Shawn Michaels had hugged it out in the ring and stuff. Other than that, I'm like, yeah, I didn't didn't get that time and opportunity to experience, a Bret Hart, moment and stuff. But anyways,
he's a master whose performances have set an unparalleled standard in the industry. Bret Hart's selling transcended mere theatrics, offering a level of realism that has yet to be matched by any other wrestler in the business of all time. His ability to make every move look genuinely painful is a testament to his meticulous attention to detail and his deep understanding of wrestling psychology. Whether he was taking a simple punch or enduring a complex submission hold, Hart's reactions were always perfectly calibrated to enhance the narrative of the match, making every encounter feel like a legitimate struggle. His selling was so convincing that audiences could easily suspend their disbelief, fully immersing themselves in the story being told in the squared circle. This unparalleled skill not only made his opponents look good, but it also elevated the overall drama and the excitement of all of his matches. Despite the evolution of the wrestling styles and the,
it's like his shoes, they kind of look like, and they probably wear LA Knight, where he got the inspiration from. But at the same time, though, it's like those shoes, they do look like, and I wish I would be able to get them, but they're currently holding up my camera right now. Yes, I got a stack of shoes holding up my camera, but no, if you guys look up, I guess for a non-sneakerhead out there, if you look up Air Jordan 11 Concord, that's what those the shoes that he's wearing, that's what they remind me of. I don't know if he took inspiration from Michael Jordan, or yeah, it was just like at the, just like great minds think alike. Or I don't know, but I know that LA Knight, he is kind of wearing some like black and white shoes. I think it's LA Knight that's wearing some black and white shoes like that. But I don't know if he took inspiration from either Bo or Brett or Michael. But regardless, I'm like, yeah, I believe, I'm going to say that that's where that idea of that shoe came from. If not that, then yeah, like I said, just great minds think alike.
Of a bunch of new talents
or Michael
in the
Jordan
last
might
20
copy
years,
them. Who
no
knows?
one has been able to replicate Bret Hart's mastery of selling. His performances remain a gold
dang,
standard
Bret,
that
I'm like,
all aspiring
one hand,
wrestlers
my neck.
should study and strive to emulate. By observing Bret's matches,
Dang.
wrestlers can learn how to truly master the art of selling. More wrestlers need to watch his tapes and learn from the best. Bret Hart's contributions to the art of selling are timeless, and his influence continues to shape the standards of excellence in this sport. Whether it's a fan or a wrestler or a legend, everybody's going to tell you the same thing. Bret Hart is the best seller of all time, and that is just a fact.
Wait a minute.
Dang.
Oscar with a miss to
I'm
the
like, damn,
champion.
for what?
And that wraps up our look at the art of selling in professional wrestling. Selling is all about making every move look real
Cedric
and
Alexander,
keeping
he's
the audience
good at selling,
emotionally invested. From Ricochet's high-flying antics and Brock Lesnar's surprising athleticism to Mick Foley's real pain and Jeff Hardy's daredevil-like stunts, great sellers elevate every match they're in. RVD made extreme moves look devastating,
Dang.
and Brock Lesnar's ability to show pain added depth to his persona. Mick Foley's risk-taking and Jeff Hardy's fearless stunts are legendary,
I don't know about
and
right
Randy
back.
Orton's evolution
Yeah.
from dramatic overselling
He was like,
to
he might
being
be good at selling, but as far as trying to make another wrestler, like, they not selling. They really hurt fooling around with
response
right
reactions showed his growth. Dolph Ziggler's selling rekindled my love for wrestling, while Bret Hart set the gold standard with his realistic and meticulous style. Selling is what makes wrestling
Yeah, that's
come
one
alive.
thing that I could say about Bret Hart. It's like I might have not watched him growing up and then really didn't see a whole lot of his highlights. But I can say about Bret Hart that he's one of those guys where it's like he would be looked at as like a Michael Jordan of wrestling and things, you know, and yeah, there probably might be some people that will debate with that. But yeah, it's like and yeah, if there are other wrestlers that are better than Bret Hart, I'm not going to take that away from those wrestlers. But I do feel, and that's even like how it is with basketball, that there was basketball players before Michael Jordan's time that were the best. But I feel like during that time frame, yeah, you couldn't really look at anybody else and be like, yeah, they were like good. They were like some really good wrestlers, and I'm not going to try to take that away from them. But yeah, Bret Hart, he's just one of those guys where it's like, even if you didn't watch him growing up, you still gonna know of him, and you've seen some stuff of his, and I have seen some stuff of his. And yeah, I can say that, yeah, Bret Hart, he definitely would be one of those wrestlers where I probably would have tried to dress up as him for Halloween or something like that. I still do it to this day. I don't care. But anyways, but yeah, he's just one of those guys where it's like you know, during that time frame, yeah, he just didn't have people idolizing him for no reason. Yeah, his fans, they were legitimate, all right? So, but anyway.
transforming it into an art form that captivates fans worldwide.
Edge, I feel like he was good at selling at times. He had some memorable moments. AJ Styles, too.
Ambrose, though, off the ropes, down goes
Seth,
Rollins.
yeah, he was good.
You gotta be
Evan
kidding
Bourne.
me. How did he do it?
There was a lot of good sellers that was in. I can see them doing a part 2 to this video. Dang. Too far between fans. Oh yeah, that's always gonna be a thing with them fans. That's just something that I couldn't do. And I know people probably ask like, oh, what would you do if you seen a wrestler somewhere? I'm like, let them go on about their business. I'm not gonna stay like, you know, cornering them about like, no, I want you to sign something real quick. Oh, let me take a picture and things. You know, it's like, yeah, if I see a wrestler, it's all like, dang, I just seen Rhea Ripley at the airport. I seen, you know, and if it's something where it's like, I don't know, I guess like that's something that I think of where it's like I would want them, like if I was like wearing a wrestling shirt, I would rather for them to approach me than for me to approach them. I just seem like it would be a much more legitimate interaction rather than me cornering them at the airport and stuff, you know. And it's like, yeah, airports, it's like depending on when you're leaving or showing up, it's like, yeah, usually like at times it's like people be tired, they trying to sleep. I ain't trying to bother nobody. So, but what just happened? I don't know what just happened with my web camera, but anyways, that was weird. All right, so I don't know what that was all about, but I guess that's my sign that I need to go ahead and end this video. But anyways, yeah, if you guys haven't, make sure you go subscribe to either PL Lana or Pill Lana. But regardless, make sure you go subscribe to them, subscribe to me too, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching, and peace.